Hello BookTube, hello everyone, it's Paul here, and today I just wanted to talk about the three books that I'm just starting to work through at the moment. So the first one is this one here, Michel, Faber, Under the Skin. This was actually a book that was recommended to me in the comment section by Jason at Aubrey's Chapter and Verse, and I noticed that he had listed this as his favourite book of 2018. I think that's right. But so that was one reason that I decided to pick this up. The other reason is that the book happens to be set in this local area. There's a road called the A9, which is about 40 miles from here, that runs down a huge distance down Scotland. So it's a very famous road, and one that I've driven up and down countless times. So that really does add something. It adds interest to this book for me. I've started it, as you can see from the bookmark. I'm about halfway through, and I have to say I'm loving it so far. It's a very, I think, very original story. It's got many layers to it, and it's one of those books actually that, you know, I got through the first 2 pages and had the smile at the way it was written, and I just thought, yes, you know, I am going to enjoy this. So thank you, Jason, for that recommendation, and I will report further when I'm actually finished the book. But it's an unfortunate cover on this particular edition. I thought they could have done a better job with the cover. It's a bit dull, but the book certainly isn't dull. It's action packed. So the moral of the story so far is, if you ever find yourself in Scotland and you're down on your luck and you have to hitchhike, don't do it, because it's just not worth it. Bad things can happen. So, but anyway, that's Under the Skin. I'm very much enjoying this. The next book that I'd like to just show you is The Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Hopefully you can see that there. I'm sorry about the camera sounds, by the way. I know it must be fairly irritating, but I haven't figured out how to let the camera automatically focus without it making a noise. But anyway, I've read The Invisible Man in the past, also by H.G. Wells, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a much more intense and violent story than I anticipated. I've got no idea what to expect from The Time Machine, but just the author and the title of the book intrigued me, so I'm going to give it a try. But I have a question actually for anyone watching this who is an avid reader. I sometimes feel conflicted, you know, this book is an example of what I'm about to talk about. With this particular copy, which is a Penguin Classic, as you can see, there's about 25 pages of introductory material. And I would really like to know if you feel the need to read introductions before you get into the book proper, so to speak. I'd be really interested to know that. I mean, for me personally, for some reason I feel the need to read the introduction, and in my heart of hearts I just want to get into the book straight away. But in my head I don't feel like I've read the book in its entirety until I've also read the introduction. But I'd be interested to know other people's thoughts on that. Do you bother with introductions? I'd love to know. So if you can let me know in the comments, I would be very interested to find out what you do. But anyway, that's H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Now this last book, I found this in the library where I work last week, and when I read the title it just made me grin from ear to ear, and I think this is probably one of the best book titles that I've ever seen. And so, and this is the book. I don't know if you can see it there. It's called Damn Rebel Bitches. How's that for a title? Hopefully any women watching aren't offended by that title, because it's a very pro-female book. This is a story about the 1745 Scottish Jacobite uprising, where they were attempting to put a Stuart back on the throne of the country. Ultimately it was a failed attempt. They almost achieved it, but not quite. Had it been for cooler heads and maybe Charles Edward Stuart, who was the one they were trying to put on the throne, if he had not listened to certain advice, then he may well, very well have done it. And it's one of those times in history where you think, if they had achieved what they wanted to achieve, how would the world be now? You know, what would have happened in the future? But we'll never know. But if you look into the history of 1745, when this was taking place, you'd be forgiven for thinking that women had fallen off the face of the earth, because they just don't really feature in that story. But this book aims to correct that, and it's all about how strong a role women actually played in that uprising and during that period of time. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. So that's Damn Rebel Bitches by The Women of the 45, written by Maggie. So I will definitely be reporting back on this one. There's a picture of Charles Edward Stuart, the man that they were trying to put on the throne at the time. So yeah, I highly anticipate that this is going to be a good book. And here's a picture of one of the women featured in this book, who goes by the name of Clementine Walkinshaw. So there's a picture of her, if you can see that there. So yeah, really looking forward to reading this. So that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that if you're watching this on the day it was published, which is going to be the 24th of December, that you have a great Christmas, that you have a great holiday season, that you have a great new year when it comes in 2019. And so yeah, all the best for that, and as usual, feel free to get in touch, leave a comment, say hi, and yeah, so that's it for today. So thanks for watching and take care. Bye for now.